Hi everyone, I'm using the Gilded Tarot for our weekly reading from Monday the 14th of July through to Sunday the 20th of July. So I'm setting the intention for a reading for the highest and greatest good for the collective or any who views this video, and as always say what resonates, and just pop the rest to one side and just see what unfolds. We have been moving through some big energy on the 7-7 gateway, the 7-7 portal. Uranus moved into Gemini, so we had that numerological activation, which is very sacred, along with Uranus moving into Gemini, coming into conjunction with Sedna, the Inuit goddess. Sedna is a dwarf planet and orbits beyond Neptune, so it moves around the sun. Sedna is the Inuit goddess that ran away with her lover across the seas, and her father went to find her and bring her back home. And as they were crossing the sea became turbulent, stormy, and her father pushed her over the side. Sedna clung to the boat, and her father had to take off her fingers so that she would let go of the boat. She moved through the turbulent sea all the way down and rested on the ocean bed. And during this transition, as she was moving through the ocean, she transformed from mortal to immortal, from human to goddess. So as this was happening on the 7-7, and actually it was a 7-7-7 because we're in the year 25, powerful numerological activation of all our chakras. It's Sedna asks us to go into that deep, into the lower chakras, into our deep consciousness, to really look at what we're holding on to. What are we gripping hold of that's no longer serving us? We grip hold of the way we think things should be. We grip hold of expectations. We grip hold of maybe anger, resentment, grief, whatever it may be. We grip hold of it. Because in order to transform it, somehow we feel we have to hold on to it. Sedna teaches us to let go through the transition, come into that deep consciousness, that higher consciousness that isn't deep within us. It's not above us, it's not outside of us, it's deep within us, and it's very still, like the ocean bed, very still. So we're going through some cleansing, transformation. Gemini is an air sign, so as Uranus comes in to Gemini, Gemini brings in that radical change. It's the sign of the twins duality, but come together as a mystical mind. So we're working through the lower chakras with Sedna, helping us to delve deep and to look at what we're clinging on to, and holding on to, because the tighter the grip, we concrete the situation in our lives. When we take that out breath and sink deep within and know that there is an intelligence deep within us that's guiding us through this lifetime, that knows the way, that will guide us home into peace, into the heaven on earth within and all around us, and to trust that, to not go into the problems that may be in our lives, whether they're in our family, whether it's happening in the outside world. We can quickly take our attention away from that centeredness within to the chaos of the outside world. So then we start to feel the turbulence of that energy within us and all around us. So we're coming through some beautiful and deep healing to really ask those questions. What are we not letting go of? What are we holding? What are we gripping onto so tightly that really is not benefiting us or anyone in our lives? So as Uranus comes into Gemini and has not been in Gemini for 84 years, so this is transitional, this is generational. A lot of us have not been in this energy before, so this is new. Uranus brings those revelations, resolutions, and also those epiphanies. Uranus is a energy that shifts things really quickly. And to remember not to fight or go into resistance with the shifts that are coming into our lives now. To move with the shifts, not to go into resistance. Because it will not serve us. Uranus brings in those light bulb moments. It brings in those moments where we see the angels, and then the next minute they've gone, and it's something just happened. Where have those angels gone? So it brings in radical change and moves us onto our path. And that can sometimes be uncomfortable, but in the outcome, it's so positive. Gemini is a fast moving energy, so these changes are radical, fast. The lightning coming in, Uranus is the cosmic fixer. It's the father of the sky. If we see Uranus as the father of the night sky, and we have to look into the stars and follow the cosmos, follow the stars for our direction. Jupiter is a benefic and is a father of the day sky. So we see everything before us is lit. We can see our path. Everything is expanded because that's what Jupiter does. It's a benefic, it's a positive energy that brings in light, that brings in those wonderful opportunities. So we've got the two opposites, and Jupiter spent the last 2 years before moving into Cancer a few weeks ago in Gemini. So we've had that expansion. We've had that light on our path, that clarity. Now Uranus is asking us to really go deep and listen to our intuition, to listen to the cosmos, to follow the star constellations, to follow the planets, because they will guide us in a powerful way when we attune to the energy of the planets. Life becomes easier. We know that Uranus is going to bring some change, and as a planet moves into the first degrees, that's when it's at its most potent. As the years move and it moves in and starts to travel through that sign, Gemini, it becomes a little bit less of a it becomes less potent, and then as it comes to the final degrees, and the potency builds again. So we get some respite in the centre of these 7 years that Uranus is moved into Gemini. So there's going to be some opportunities coming in that maybe we did not see, and as Uranus has moved now from Taurus, which was a earth sign, moves really slow, and maybe we for the past 7 years have not been sure in our direction, that we were not sure about our career, we were feeling uncomfortable in certain situations, like we didn't fit in anymore. A bit like wearing uncomfortable clothing. It's like we don't fit into those situations and that we used to. But now, as we're coming into Gemini, Uranus is coming into Gemini, it's clearing the path that we know now we're going to go in that direction. Opportunities start coming in, and we start to move with those opportunities, and everything becomes clearer. So after the 7 years of maybe of toing and froing and really going through that radical change of things happening to us in the past 7 years, as we've moved through Taurus, as Uranus has moved through Taurus, now things are lighting up. Uranus is bringing through those light bulb moments, those epiphanies of didn't really know why I took those courses, but now I do, because these opportunities are opening for me to step into this arena and to do what I actually love. So there is a lightness, a mysticism, a magicalness with Uranus and Gemini that we've moved through a sticky and done a lot of shadow work, and as now we are letting go of those layers and those old garments that we don't fit anymore, we're starting to become lighter and starting to not question our intuition. We are not questioning ourselves. We are having that belief in ourselves. So things starting to change. Sadhana asking us to just go deep into that stillness, into that ocean of awareness that expands us, that is still and calm, and we transcend the lower dimensions, moving up into the fifth and higher dimensions, because we click into this alignment and we don't struggle with things that we have no control over anymore. We let go, we simply let go. And that's not that we don't care and we stop loving, or it's that whatever emotion, whatever codependency, whatever was in us that brought out the people pleaser is not there anymore, because we realise we're all part of one consciousness, but independently walking our path. And so we allow everyone else to walk their own path with love and with upliftment. So this energy that we are experiencing is profound. And as Gemini is an earth sign, it's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury goes into retrograde on Friday. So there's a lot of energy there, a lot of shifts happening in Gemini. Mercury. So Mercury is the planet of communication, planet of travel, and is asking us again to reevaluate what we're holding on to, what are we gripping hold of, trying to make something change, maybe trying to make somebody see us in a different light, and they can't, they can only see us through their reflection. Every sibling has a different relationship with the parents. Everyone sees things differently, and once we start to accept that and really have the wisdom of whatever I am seeing in another is what's programmed within me, and we've been so deeply programmed all our lives, and Uranus coming in and shifting those programs. We're rewriting, we are realigning to our authentic and higher self. So I'm asking for a card for Monday, and there we have the Ace of Cups. For Tuesday, the King of Pentacles. Wednesday, the Death card. Thursday, the Hierophant. Friday, the Eight of Pentacles. Saturday, the Emperor. Sunday, the Ace of Cups. The Magician, the Two of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Strength card. Okay, so Monday, the Ace of Cups. This is love. This is true love. And as we find that unconditional love for ourselves, of letting go of things that are no longer serving us. Maybe if we're over worrying about someone, somebody's going through a dark night of the soul, and we are fearing what they're going through, to let go of the grip of that, because when we are worrying about others, we're not loving them, we're not loving ourselves. It's a toxic energy. When we surround them in love and we surround them in light, that's when the healing begins. So Monday, again, is coming through a beautiful, beautiful energy as we let go of that pain of the past. We heal from the grief, and we have a entourage of angelic healers all around us now, helping us and assisting us in the healing of our grief and of those old false beliefs that created deep set emotions within us of worthlessness. And so as we ask for healing of that, that's what we will receive. And this is the Ace of Cups, and this is when our cup begins to run over and we have that energy, life force energy, love, intuition, spiritual gifts that start to overflow from us. So as we are letting go of the past, and it sounds really easy to let go, as we heal from the past, as we choose to have faith in our soul path, have faith in every other soul in our reality, that they're doing exactly what they are meant to be doing, and to really come back into that centre. Again, it's Sedna taking us into that centre, into that the element of water, into our emotions, into our sacred relationships, because all relationships are sacred. It's only our perception, our patterns that start to change things. So this is going back to the beautiful alignment of self-love, unconditional love for ourselves and others, but also with this card, I am feeling romance, and this is a beautiful time of romance, to let go of past relationships, and especially why Mercury is going into retrograde on Friday in Leo. So Leo rules the heart. So any old relationships that we are projecting into our current relationship, or that is blocking us from moving into a relationship, although all the pains of the heart, the grief of the heart is very heart-centered, this energy, taking us into the dissolving of that armour that we place around our hearts to protect us from pain, when actually it's the pain we're protecting, we're holding on to that pain. And as we see that and allow ourselves to open, set ourselves free, set everybody else free, this is when the true healing starts. This is when we come into that alignment with love, with romantic love, with true love that goes very deep. There's a deep bond with this love that's coming in, or a current love that is starting now to feel stronger. Tuesday, the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, the King Solomon of the Tarot, turning that cheap metal into gold. All those experiences that we've been through, those pains, upsets, heartache that we've been through, alchemizing it into the wisdom, into the wisdom of every soul is in its own unique pattern, beliefs, whatever it may be. And if somebody has treated us wrongly, that was coming from a place of pain within that person that they project onto us or others. And as we really take the wisdom of all that and find that forgiveness of self and others, not that we have done anything wrong, that we set ourselves free from that pattern, that we do not behave in the old way of, if somebody comes into our life and triggers us, we go into resistance with that person. We actually go within and do the healing within to see where that trigger originates from. And if we ask, there is this entourage of healing angels around us now and ascended masters, we ask, we will get especially with Uranus coming into Gemini, whose ruling planet is Mercury, the communication with the gods, we will get the download, we will get the epiphanies and the resolutions, and our soul will be resurrected. And as those essence, those parts of our souls come back and we are resurrected, we become healthier, happier, more prosperous. Things start to align in our path that would never have done before, because we didn't have that self-worth, we didn't feel we were good enough. But now with the epiphanies coming in, with these light bulb moments, and I'm just seeing ideas coming in, and brilliant ideas coming in, we start to sit on this throne. And this is an energy that's coming through with the Ace of Cups at the beginning of the week. And when we feel love and we give love, that is true prosperity. That is true happiness. And that is our state, our true state within. And as we sink in deeper and deeper, we are unraveling the discord that has blocked us from sitting on this throne. He is sat there, he has done all the work. He is not running off anywhere trying to please anyone. He is not going trying to rescue anyone. He's sitting there, sending that beautiful waves of energy and prosperity out all around him, because as he sends it out, it then gravitates and moves back and enters his life, because at the core that's who he is. He's done the work, and that is the divine masculine within us, that is that brings the action in, the motivation. Wednesday we have the Death card. So Wednesday, and this is a major card that brings us through that, again, that deep, the card, the sign that is connected to the Death card is Scorpio, who's ruled by Pluto. So this is about going into those depths, finding the treasures that are there. Scorpio, Pluto asks for the death and the rebirth. The old has to die away for the rebirth. And we're all going to be going through this, but we're going through it together. We're going through it assisted by a force all around us and within us that knows which direction that we're moving into. So it's not going to be fearful. In fact, this card is asking us to let go of all fear, let go of fear of change, embrace change, feel the excitement of new change, of new opportunities coming into your life. This is a death of the old that has not been beneficial. It's blocked us. We become our own prisoner in our own prison, our own prison officer, eating the foods that kept us in that prison, the foods that we feed our emotions with, so that we don't have energy to go out and try something new. But this is coming to an end, but it's coming into an end gracefully, because we're having the realizations, we're having the insights and the foresight of where we're going. And this is not focusing on the future, by no means, because that we come completely out of our alignment with ourselves. It's about the foresight of, I'm feeling peaceful in this moment, and if there's any turbulence in that, I look at the turbulence and maybe do some meditation, call on the angelic healers that are all around us to help us and assist us through this transition. So we're all moving through a death of the old, of how we were told, or who we were told we were, and how we were told to be, and how if you have lots of money then you have all this confidence and you are respected, which is good, and yes, but also being yourself, your authentic self, is to stand in that worthiness, because that's a prosperity that enriches, that's true enrichment that brings prosperity. So there's a death of an old way of seeing things, and a transition and a transformation into something new and beautiful. Wednesday, the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a card that is our connection to the sacredness, to the divine, and there's changes coming. There's changes on how we view our outside world, because we're coming into the sacredness within and listening to the sacred guidance that's coming from the higher consciousness. So we're seeing the falseness of the unauthentic, the manufactured reality that we may have been plugged into, and really unplugging from it and plugging into a organic reality that is sacred, that all life is sacred. We're all the same, we're all different, but we have the sacred energy within us. And I'm just feeling Thursday a download coming through, a download of light codes, sacred light codes, Christ light codes. Because as we let go of those old, worn out beliefs, emotions, heaviness, we open up for the lightness, for the divine, for the truth, for the divine truth that is the purest of love. This is the card of Taurus that Uranus has moved out of. So really taking what we've learned from Uranus moving through Taurus, because it was quite heavy. We've all had to face things that were really deep and shadowy, but we've learned from them. And this card is reminding us to remember the wisdom from this time of Uranus, this last 7 years, to really bring it into our being. And it is not words, but work that matter, is what's coming through. So actions speak louder than words. We can speak and know everything, but know nothing, because we've not digested it. We've not integrated it. So there's a period of integration from the last 7 years that we've been through, but the wisdom, the light, and the sacredness. Friday, the 7 of Pentacles. And this is when Mercury goes retrograde. So the 7 of Pentacles just reminds us not to worry. Don't go into worry. Mercury it asks us to refocus. And because Mercury is in Leo and retrograding in Leo, that rules the heart, to maybe we might revisit some old relationships, that there may be some healing there that we have not been aware of. This card reminds us that everything's going to be okay, not to worry about things, not to stress about anything, that what we're going through is natural, is normal. If we do go through some past life healing, that it's good, it's not bad, it's something that from a cellular memory that may come up, and an old situation or a person or relationship, especially with it being around the heart. But the 7 of Pentacles is showing us everything's manifesting perfectly. Just because something might come up, it doesn't mean that we're going to go back into those old patterns. It's coming up so that we can tend to that consciousness, to bring that awareness into the light, instead of pushing it deeper and deeper down. So as we're moving through this retrograde of Mercury rules Gemini. Uranus has moved into Gemini. Venus is in Gemini. So it's all heart. So we have the head of the air, the mental, the thoughts of Gemini, as Uranus is the higher mind and rules Aquarius, that Pluto is actually retrograding in Aquarius. So asking for that transformation, asking for that death of the old so that new can be rebirthed, so that we can step into our true authenticity instead of going into the robotic patterns of the past. The heart with Venus in Gemini and Uranus and Sedna, asking us to look into our hearts of any pain that might still be there, and to actually feel and connect with our hearts and have some patience with our heart, and know that our heart is precious, and our loved ones in spirit don't want our hearts to hurt. They will bring healing there because they are free and at peace. Saturn taking us down into the lower chakras. So we have this alignment of the higher with Uranus, the higher mind, Gemini, the earth sign, Venus and Gemini with the heart, and Sedna with the lower chakras. And we know that when we're doing work in the higher chakras, it's a lot easier than doing work in the lower chakras, because that are the old patterns. But because this beautiful alignment that the cosmos is bringing and assisting us with, it's like the seeds that we've planted are strong and are about to become into fruitfulness as we are moving through this transition. So whatever comes through, know that, okay, I'm feeling this, or this memory's just come, this cellular memory. It's good that it's doing that. It's good that I've got this emotion coming through my body because I'm over worrying about someone. That's good, because that is a charge within me that's holding that person in that situation and myself. When we take that charge away and dissolve with light, then everything starts to heal in the most beautiful, magical and prosperous ways. So even if this retrograde brings up some fears towards finances, know that those fears are from a past life of scarcity or poverty that we brought in. We're energy beings, and our energy moves through lifetimes. So this energy's come in, we've brought it through in this lifetime to actually affirm that I am divinely supported, and feel that, because that is at the lower chakra, and it brings relief to the body, because that's the intelligence within us that already knows that. So know that we are divinely supported through whatever challenges we may be facing, that there is going to be a fruitful outcome. Saturday we have the Emperor. So this is the divine masculine. And as we connect with the divine masculine, the Emperor rules his domain. He doesn't give his power to his soldiers. He doesn't give his power to anyone else. He rules his domain. And this is the divine masculine within each of us. As we take back our power, this energy comes through the divine masculine, giving us the motivation to move forward with that courage, with that strength, not with anger, not with pushing somebody else out the way or pushing somebody down so that we can rise up, but with our hearts, moving forward, doing what we love, what we're passionate about. And when we're doing that, we have all the energy to do it, all the life force energy to do it. This is the card that's coming through for Saturday as we're moving through. And Saturday, Chiron and the sun meet. So Chiron is in Aries. This is the card of Aries, which rules the head. So and Aries, and this card is the I am. So really looking at who we truly are, not what anybody else or who anybody else thinks we are, but who we truly are. We don't need to explain ourselves to anyone. We do not need anybody else's praise. Because if we look for that, then we get lost. That's coming from a place of not feeling appreciated. The Emperor feels appreciated, knows that his strength and courage has brought him into this position. This is the I am. The I am who is healed, the divine masculine who is healed within us, who is awakening within us. And as we balance the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us, it creates that Kundalini rising. It creates pure harmony and balance and equilibrium in our lives. And this is what the Emperor is bringing to us, the motivation to create our empire, to create our reality that we're all stepping into, coming from the divine masculine. Sunday we have the Page of Cups, the Magician, the Two of Cups, the Six of Wands and Strength. The Page of Cups bringing a gift. Bringing that gift. We started off beginning of the week with the Ace of Cups, and the Page is bringing a gift of love, a gift of forgiveness, a gift of freedom from entanglement of the heart as we're moving through this powerful week. So the Page, this is a new opening within our heart, a flutter within our hearts that brings that upliftment, that transformation. So this is something new, this is a young energy, maybe something we've stifled from childhood because of what we were told to do with relationships, to do with how we love. To open our hearts and to love without any judgment or criticism of anyone, including ourselves. So the Page is bringing a beautiful gift on Sunday. We have the Magician, bringing everything into alignment, because when we are in this balance with our divine feminine, with our heart, with our mind, with our lower chakras, everything comes into alignment and we start to flow through life, creating magic with our intentions, because we focus on what brings us joy and we just let go of the rest. And this week we're going to see what doesn't bring us joy, what holds us back. But again, in that same situation, whether it's in a relationship or finances or career, we're going to see what brings us joy at the same time. And to lose and to allow what doesn't bring us joy to not have power over us, to not hold it in our headspace and mull things over and mull things over and mull things over until we are exhausted. So the magician is showing us, this is how you're feeling because you're thinking this way. The Emperor is showing us, this is the new beginning. This is, you can see he's got the wheel or the astrology, the zodiac wheel around him. This is something new coming in, but with such power that we're going to create something magnificent. But in order to do that, we've got to let the old die away without trying to fix it, without going into the old expectation of, if this person was nicer, if this was different in my life, I would be happy. Be happy anyway, and then everything else will fall away that's false. So he's coming through with something powerful and something new that we're creating. The magician is creating that magic, showing us that we are the magic, we are the magicians. The Two of Cups, so we're moving from the beginning of the week, from the Page of Cups to the Two of Cups, and there's the rainbow. So this is the pot of gold. When you feel that love, the romance coming in, again, Mercury is retrograding through Leo, through our heart center, and reminding us of what love feels like, because it's been, we've armoured our hearts. We may have lost sight of romance. So the Two of Cups on Sunday is bringing that back as we move through and transition through this week, which is a powerful, powerful, enlightening and wonderful time. We have victory, the Six of Wands. This is recognition. Recognition from our ancestors, from maybe people around us that see a difference in us, that see us standing in our own authenticity and our own power, knowing and having the courage to walk in the direction that makes us happy. And this is a card of victory. So we're going to come through this week victorious. There we have strength, and with this card I'm seeing the lion, and we're moving, we've gone from the 777 portal with this energy of Uranus and the transition into Gemini and Sedna, coming into that conjunction, and all these wonderful celestial alignments that have been moving through and guiding us up to the 8-8 gateway on the 8th of August. We're gaining more strength, we're taking in more light and gaining more strength, more courage. And there she is, she's looking up into the cosmos, she's following the stars, and it does bring that strength, because it's like looking into a, if we're looking to travel somewhere and we look at the routes, you know, we find the best route for us. That's what the following the planets, the cosmos, following the guidance of there. It's like helps us to find the best route for our journey, so that we're not getting into any traffic jams, or we're not going down an old road that's unkept. It just keeps us in that awareness of, okay, this energy, I'm feeling this way, and I know this is happening, and it's bringing it up for me to be able to see it, to be able to bring it into the light of awareness, because as the moment we bring it into a light of awareness, it heals. So this is, we've got this such a powerful energy surging through us, this strength coming through all the way up to the 8-8, the Lion's Gate, which is going to be so powerful this year, as it is every year. So I've gone on quite a long time with this one, but it is a powerful week, beautiful week, magical week, and enjoy the transition, enjoy the letting go, enjoy the shifting into something brighter and happier and more divinely abundant. So I'm sending so much love, and thank you for listening. Thank you.